Hey everybody! I guess I am live. I am doing this last minute live stream. Usually I schedule these things, but I just wanted to get out there and share with you what I have learned. So as you know, the payroll certificate, the new payroll certification launched yesterday. And so I had a chance to take a look at it, and I wanted to share with you what I learned. So this is going to be our first look at the payroll. It's so exciting. All right, so first of all, you need to know that the payroll certification still covers two different courses. Wah, wah. I don't know why they can't just put it in one course, but that's the way it is. So let me show you what I mean. I forgot to set up my screen share, so let me do that right now. And I will put it right there. Okay, so here we are. And so here I am in a QBO account, and I'm going to go to Pro Advisor Training. So here is where you go to actually get the training and to take the certification test. If you are brand spanking new and you don't have, or you just very recently created a QBOA account, first of all, know that you have to have the basic certification in order to have in order to get the payroll certification. So make sure you do that. Second thing is, if you're brand spanking new, then you will have a fourth tab right here, right before that says training path or my training path. So it'll say my training path, and then it'll be product training, specialty courses, and certification. Those of us who've been around for a while, we only have these three, okay? So right here under the certification, that's where you go to take the exam. But to get the training, there are two different courses that you have to study. So first is under specialty courses. Specialty courses has a whole bunch of like advisory type things, and at the very top is this course called Payroll Specialist Fundamentals. The payroll certification test has 6 sections, and the first 3 sections are all stuff that's covered in the Payroll Specialist Fundamentals course. We're going to come back to that in just a second. The final 3 sections are all in the QBO payroll training. So from here, you click product training, you go to scroll down to the QuickBooks Online Payroll. And here, this is the training material that is in the last 3 sections of the test. Okay, so 2 courses that you still have to study in order to get that payroll certification. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing, I want to go back and talk about that payroll specialist fundamentals course, because last year, the payroll specialist fundamentals course was awful. It was awful. Now, blessings to the woman that recorded it. I don't want to diss on her at all, but it was so hard to follow because it was just a video of a woman talking and going through slides. There was no documentation. It wasn't like the types of courses that we're used to from Intuit. Well, guess what? They have put in a lot of effort into this. And I'm going to go here back to specialty courses, click Payroll Specialist Fundamentals. Come on. And dun, 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 it is the same as we are used to seeing for all of the other Intuit courses. So it's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing now. So when we go to all of these different things, you're used to seeing this type of format for the Intuit training. So it's so much improved, so much improved. And so many of the test questions. Now, this is just a first list. This is just a first look. I don't know the inside and out of the certification test yet, but just at first glance, most of the questions are actually covered in the material, which is so exciting because previously they weren't at all. And it was so frustrating. So I'm just super excited about that. Most of what you need to know is just looking up the answers. There are a handful of math questions that I have seen. Again, this is just my first look at it, but there's a handful of things where you have to do math. It seems to me at first glance, I could be wrong, but it seems to me that there's far less than there were last year. Last year, it seemed like you were always having to calculate all sorts of things. So this year, it's mostly just, looking up the content and then a handful of math questions. Now, again, I may change it once I have seen it, once I've seen it more. Okay, another really great thing that they have added, this is so great, is that they have introduced something called Payroll Specialist Challenges. Now, if you've taken the basic, and again, you should have, if you want to take the payroll, you have to have that certification. But if you have taken the basic, then you know that they have something called Pro Advisor Challenges, which are kind of similar to exercises where you can go in and, test it out. So in this course, they have something similar called Payroll Specialist Challenges. And I'm going to show you what one of these looks like because it is kind of cool. And it's something that I wished last year that they had. So I'm going to go to, let's see, I had planned, working with fringe benefits. So working with fringe benefits, there's all different kinds of, fringe benefits. There is dependent care. There's a bunch of it. But after each one, they have this thing called the Payroll Specialist Challenge. And what they are training you to do, this is so awesome, guys. I cannot tell you how awesome it is that they are doing this for you, is that they have given you the IRS publication, okay? And they are challenging you to find the answer to the question in the IRS publication. They have tons of these. So this is the one of the dependent care assistance, there's cell phone reimbursement, there is meals provided by employees, and they give you the scenario, and then you just go and you pull up the IRS publication. I don't know. Can you see that? What happened? Yeah, there it goes. Oh, no. So you can see it, right? And then it's like right there. So you can look up, finding in the IRS publication what you need to know. This is so valuable. Guys, this is so valuable. I'm so glad that they are training you to look up the information because last year, they just gave you old information. You had to memorize old information, but then they had all these disclaimers saying, oh, you've got to go look up the most recent, if you're on the job. Well, now they're just giving it to you. So that's amazing. That is the best thing. That is the best thing about this new course is this opportunity for you to do it. I wish that there were way more. And I wish that some of the questions on the test actually came also from those IRS publications. But I guess they probably couldn't do that because they can't control, what is in the IRS publication. So, I get why they didn't, but that is like hugely valuable. The other thing that is great about the new payroll certification training and test is that it actually now matches the current features and interface. So if you were at all involved last year, if you took the training material, if you took the test last year, you noticed that there was this big disconnect because their whole training was about an old interface. It was about, they completely revamped the way the employee profile looks inside of payroll. And the whole training, certification, and test was the old interface. And so if you were trying to look at it yourself, you were looking at two different things. So this is awesome that it now matches the current features and the interface that you see for real in QBO Payroll. So that's awesome. Whether they're going to keep updating it, I don't know. Like if payroll is going to change if they're going to change a little bit, then I don't know if they're going to go back and change those test questions or, pictures in the training, or I don't know what their plan is. I just realized that you don't need to be seeing my screen anymore. So I'm just going to come back here. Okay. So anyway, so that's cool. It matches the current features and interface of QuickBooks Online Payroll. So you have a much more real experience when you're going through the training. So that's great. A downside is that the test is not in order of the training. So that's kind of a bummer. Like when I took the test several years ago, they would teach you a topic and then you would take the test on that topic. Well, then they changed it so that it was just like, here's a series of lessons and you didn't really know when the test took over. And now, at least with the payroll test, I haven't looked at the basic and advanced ones yet, but at least with the payroll test, it's really not in order of the training. It's sort of in order, but really not in order. You have to hop around a little bit through the training in order to answer the test. So that's a downside. Another downside is that the report section is still a mess. It's way better, guys. Way, way, way better than it was last year. Like 1,000 times better than it was last year. It's so much more clear and obvious. The descriptions are better. They've got good pictures. Like they're trying really hard to teach you those payroll reports. But it's still, from what I've seen, doesn't match up with the test questions. So like, that's a real bummer. That's a real bummer because I know last year, like that was one of the hardest things people had to get through when they took the certification test. So yeah, so kind of a bummer that the reports are still a mess. And of course, my biggest complaint of all of the Intuit training, and this is just like the biggest thing for payroll, is that there's no hands-on practice. So we have the hands-on practice that I just talked about for the payroll specialist fundamentals. And so you have those things where you can look up in the IRS publication, but there is no hands-on practice with QBO Payroll. Like, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if you could actually, I don't know, add a fake employee, like, wouldn't it be nice if you could actually like run payroll and put in overtime and take garnishments from somebody's wages? Like, wouldn't that be really awesome? So that is still lacking in the Intuit training. The good news is that fast and easy courses all have hands-on training. We have a payroll sample company so that you can actually use Intuit's payroll sample company that nobody knows exists except for me, apparently. And so we're going to go into Intuit's payroll specialist or Intuit's sample QBO payroll company and actually run payroll for Craig's Landscaping. So we'll teach you how to do all of that. You'll get hands-on practice. You'll get that experience, actually running payroll and not only being able to pass the test, but actually feeling confident that you know what you're doing when you go out and serve clients. So you can grab that. Right now we are closed because they just released the new test yesterday. They just released it yesterday, and I spent all day like going through it. So it'll take us a while. We don't have a release date yet for the new version of the payroll course, but we have two options for you. One is that you can buy it at last year's price and just wait for the new version. You'll automatically get the new version, but you can buy it right now at the link that I put down. You can get it at last year's price. So until we release the new one. Or an even better deal for you is if you were interested in any of our other classes, then you can get all 3 of our courses bundled together for a ridiculously cheap price. Ridiculously cheap price. Like it's practically the price of, I mean, it's cheaper than just buying payroll itself, and you get the basic and advanced. And or if you just wanted to get advanced, then you would just could tack on payroll for $100. Like this is the only time ever all year we're ever going to have this kind of a discount, and we're calling it Black November because it's not just one day. It's from now the whole time until we're closed right now until we release the basic, which is due to release December 1st. But I don't know how long it will take me. Tomorrow, I'm going to be diving into the basic level course. I will do a first look video just like this, and we'll talk about what the new new basic level certification test is. And who knows, I might be able to get it done and out to you in a couple weeks, long before December 1st. And then you will lose out on that Black Friday or that Black November deal. So, so it's only, that deal is only available while we are closed. All right. And that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. And I will be back hopefully tomorrow with a first look basic, and then later a first look advanced. And then we will get going and building out these courses. And I have some super exciting things coming your way this year. And I just can't wait. And I can't wait to hear your success story. That's it. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.